It's good. That is that in 3D?
It's in 4D, mate. It's the next level of graphics. Yeah, totally immersive.
Wow.
Yes.
Just take this free serrated edge piece of the corner of the paper, and you put that in your tongue.
Have you not got the 4D glasses?
No.
I'll send you a pair.
Wow.
Good going in, not so good coming out.
Hello, panel. How are you today? Cockney Spot first. How are you?
Oh, horny.
Thanks for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see you next time on Mr. Brand's channel.
Go have a wank.
Oh, me?
Well, I don't know, do you?
Listen, less of the toxic maleness. Ian, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry.
Are we keeping you? Are we keeping you?
Yeah. I just got a couple of things came up and I had to deal with it. It's not a problem, but I'm okay. I'm here now.
You mean episode 2 of The Equalizer?
No, no, the family stuff. It's always family stuff. Always. Yeah. But I'm here now, so there you go.
Who's problem being? Hello, mate.
Hello.
You're right. Is that a picture of you? Problem is that a picture of you? The picture you put up on Twitter, is that you?
That's me. Yeah.
Bastard.
Oh wow! God, you're a good-looking fella, aren't you? Bloody hell! Did not think you looked like that at all. I mean, looking at that black and white picture, you look very different in the black and white picture.
You missed out.
I think I'd cast you as the master. You look a bit evil.
I'd be happy. Damn right.
And for the folks at home, welcome to the Problem Being Show.
Yay, part 2.
Part 29.
Well, invite me on. You.
Are you okay, Lindley? Yes.
You pay peanuts to get monkeys.
We don't pay anything, mate, so...
Well, there you are, then. You don't even
You
get
okay,
monkeys.
yes? Everything good, yes? Tickety-boo?
Tickety-bonk.
Excellent. And last but no means least, what's it? Disney Plus
Swap Shop.
cancellation. Hello, sir.
Oh, good afternoon, gentlemen. Hope you're all doing well.
Good to see you.
How you doing, Matt?
Yeah, all right. I was up late last night. I couldn't really sleep that well. And just before I went to bed, I just saw loads of crap on social media. Yeah, and it kind of kept me awake.
Yeah, me too. I haven't slept yet.
At least I've had a few hours.
Yeah, lucky you.
I've just had Problem Being in my ear for 2 hours just to get the netter out of our system.
How did that go?
I'm just looking on my TV now. I can see that you did a live stream earlier. I think, balls, I missed it. I'll watch it later.
Yeah, well worth it.
I think for viewers, there's a sweet spot for the UK, probably about 7 a.m. in the morning.
It's not very sweet for me.
7 a.m. in the evening.
Yeah. So we've all been to bed, and some
of us slept, some of us didn't.
Speak for yourself, darling.
80%. Well, yes, 60% of the panel have been to bed, and yes, all the most interesting stuff seems to happen when
you're sleeping.
Yes. So yes, Gina.
Oh,
dear. When it was breaking. When it was breaking, it was the first. You know how I first heard about it? I was on Twitter, and there was all this stuff about her being fired or getting, this hashtag fired Gina Carano, and then it ended up in a sort of spat with someone, and then they went silent, and after a while they said, "Well, she's gone now," so no, whatever it was, and I was just like, "Oh no, don't tell me that," and of course it turned out to be true. Yeah, then. Can you do?
I was watching the Drunk 3PO charity stream thing.
You'll be upset.
That was on the background while I was writing, and that one of them mentioned it, and they were all in disbelief. And I went, "Nah, this isn't right." And then apparently someone else said that it had been confirmed on some official channel or some official site or app or something like that somewhere, which I never checked myself. But and then they all started to say one after the other, "Yeah, it's official." And they were all, "No, this can't be the case." And I was sitting there thinking, "Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's utterly absurd. I can't believe something like that would happen." And it actually has.
Fat Steven Seagal was doing a thing, and it was just saying, I had this thing. Stream saying, "Oh no, it's not real. It's not true. It's not confirmed. It's not." I think there is a level of complete
disbelief,
denial. This can't be happening. This is ludicrous. There you go.
Ian, any thoughts?
No, I just think that Gina Carano should have just basically not referred to anyone that gave her grief. She should just block them, because as it's been proven time and time again, when actors or celebrities say something on on social media, there's always a backlash. It doesn't matter what you say, there's always a backlash. So
well, she did block some people, and then they accused her of blocking them because they were gay. So then they started calling her homophobic, and
But the thing is, as I keep saying, right, you should never ever get into that war. You should look. The best way to avoid a fight is not to be there, as Mr. Miyagi.
Well, they didn't give her a chance because they came to her saying,
"Doesn't matter if she didn't say anything. Nothing would have happened."
Pronouns. Yeah, but they kept coming, wave.
It doesn't matter. They can come. They can come. But if you open the door, that's when the war starts.
Silence is violence. You can't win with these people.
No, silence is golden, mate, and that's the point I'm trying to make.
To us, it is. Yeah, to us, it's golden. Not to these people.
No,
but listen, no. Even Gina Carano should look. I like Gina Carano. Don't get me wrong, but actors should just stay silent. They should only express their opinion when they have to. And let me tell you something. Twitter is not the place to say anything these days. Just leave it, man. Leave it alone.
Yeah, she's learned a harsh lesson today.
But look, she doesn't care anyway. She's got a lot of money. She's fine.
I think she's got grounds to sue a bunch of people as well.
Do you know what? Right?
Will she work again after this?
No,
of course she will. Of course she'll work again.
But she's going to be blacklisted. That's
no. Look, remember, right? Those people that are in charge, they're only there for a time. Okay, right? And also, right, everyone who has common sense will know that Gina Carano is in the right. Let's face it.
Yeah, but look at what happened to Julian Clary in the 90s when he did that joke about fisting Norman Lamont at the comedy awards. He was blacklisted for at least a decade, I think, before he got any TV
That was
work.
really unfair, wasn't it? That was really unfair.
Yeah, I laughed for a fortnight when I heard that joke, and I think the audience, like from the moment he finished that quip, the murmuring within the audience continued throughout the entire show, throughout the rest of
But that's why I'm saying that celebrities should really stay quiet. Yes, I understand it was a joke and stuff like that, and it's really unfortunate that happened to him. But I've seen him a couple of times on TV since then, and he's not as popular as he used to be. Yeah, he's not as popular as he used to be. But you've got to take your hat off to him, and you've also got to respect him because he stuck to his guns and basically he didn't kneel. So listen, right? Yep. The thing about success and the thing about life is that my dad always used to say to me, right? If you're wrong, yes, apologize, right? But if you're right, you never, ever kneel, no matter what happens. Remember, right? The things that you cherish now might not be the things that you cherish tomorrow. So you've always got to live for today. And if things change, you just have to go with the flow and make the best of it. But as long as you don't kneel, right, you'll always win in the end. So, and I actually believe that. So, Gina Carano will work again. There's no way that girl's not going to be working at all.
She's a fighter, literally.
Yeah, exactly. And the girl's clever as well, and she's beautiful. So there's no way she's not going to be working again. It may take a couple of years, but she is going to be working again. Mark my words, Anyway, that's just me.
Do you think anything will happen with regards Jon Favreau with all this that's going on?
Jon Favreau is clever. He's going to stay quiet, which is what most celebrities should be doing. So he's going to stay quiet. He's going to keep his head down. He's going to carry on doing his work. And then when he has to fight for her, he will. You'll see it. You'll see it. And when it happens, you'll say, you know what, Mega Geek, you were right.
You heard it
we'll
first
find
here,
out, right?
peeps. Yeah.
We'll find out.
I kind of Disney have had a lot of goodwill as of late.
Too much.
I just don't think they can stay out of trouble.
It's like someone said on World Class Bullshitters a little while back. They can't. They're addicted to the taste of the barrel of the shotgun.
They are, yeah. They definitely are. You know, it's a shame really that people are like that. But I mean, look at Gina Carano, right? She's not your average model shape, skinny model shape, but gorgeous blonde. She's quite, I mean, I don't mean as a disrespect, Gina, but you're quite a weighty woman, but you're still beautiful though. Do you know what I mean? Look at the face, look at the curves. Do you know what I'm saying? So, she's a very unique looking woman, and she's, well, actually, no, she isn't, but you know what I mean, in this climate. She's actually in this climate, they should be cherishing her. Let's face it.
It's very true. You think so, wouldn't you?
You'd think so, yeah. But as you can see, right, the reason why she's not being cherished is because the people that are into this kind of cancel culture, they're very, very wrong. They say one thing one day, and the next day they're saying something else. So, yeah, totally.
It's because they think they know everything about life, and they know fuck all.
No, the only person that knows a lot about life is Cockney Spock.
Correct, Amondo. Exactly. They should have asked me.
Just these angry little youngsters with smartphones and a Twitter account. You may
nothing else to do.
You may as well just give them, a BFG, big fucking gun, and go strafing everything. It's open season for them little fuckers, and it's about time. As I said. I've said before on these streams, when I was 20, I knew it all. But, I didn't want to go around cancelling people and just going, ooh, I'm fucking right. We didn't have smartphones and stuff back then. Thank God, yes. But I blame the parents for creating these little monsters. And then once the smartphone was placed in front of them, it's
from an early age. I've seen it. I've seen it. Everywhere. Yeah.
The thing is, though, it's not the parents' fault, is it? I mean, it's what's happened today. Yeah, smartphones are the thing that people are into, or the young generation's into now. If you go back, we were into other stuff, that was quite addictive. Before the smartphone. So it's nothing new here. It's just that they found a new way to capture your attention. Yeah. Or another way to drug you, so you can become addicted, so they can make more money.
Yeah,
that's always the goal, isn't it? But
it is. It's that. Yes. That
it's a manipulation. It's a social manipulation. This is. If you want to talk about social constructs, well, Twitter is it. It's about controlling how people react, and it seems to be a breeding ground for bad ideas which perpetuate, and they go unchallenged. And it's really strange that these things are allowed to unfold in a very partisan way. And it seems, and someone posted earlier, if you have big tech on your side, if you have the government on your side, if you have the media on your side, if you have Hollywood on your side, you are not the resistance. You are the first order. And that's something I think rang true.
Quite right.
Yeah, I guess.
Well, like the Thompson twins said, if you got love on your side, whatever the next verse said, love on your side.
I love that song.
Do you? I personally think that Gina Carano didn't help herself by obviously posting these very emotive pictures.
Maybe she did it deliberately. Maybe she didn't want to work on Mandalorian anymore. Who knows?
But on that picture she posted with the Jewish woman who had her clothes ripped off, being chased down the street by angry kids with sticks. In that picture, you see a picture saying the dead Kennedys. What is it? Nazi punks, fuck off. I mean, I've got the screenshot.
Maybe
And
that
that seems to have been missed in the nuance somewhat, you know.
But dead Kennedys,
because
maybe
I don't
it was
know.
a dig at Disney.
Oh,
Maybe Kathleen saw it and thought, she's having a fucking go at me directly there.
I doubt they've got that
Could be.
cultural reference at all.
Listen,
Because
I
these
keep
people. Sorry.
I keep saying this, right? All it takes is for one very important person in Hollywood to stand up and say enough of this bullshit, and everything will be turned on its head. You mark my words. It'll be someone that's really powerful that just had enough, and he'll stand up and he say, "Look, I've had enough," and he will spell it out. This is what we need, because remember, right? Hollywood runs the press. The majority of the press. So all it takes is one person. Yeah, one person to say, and then it will hit the normies, and that's where the strength lies. Because the majority of people that actually feed the industry is normies that don't really understand what's going on. But if someone that they admire stands up and says something about this situation, I'm telling you, they're going to tip the scales.
Yeah, that's a big what if, though, isn't it?
I know. I know. It will happen, though. It will happen. I'm telling you, especially when money starts running out for Tom Hanks and you know, and all the big stars and stuff like that, and they can't buy their second or third beach house.
Yeah.
They will stand up and say something. They'll have to, because the way of life for them will change, and for their kids. So you know what I mean. It's probably heading that way, I think.
Yes, those divorce settlements don't pay themselves, do they?
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
I just don't think Gina helped. I think she dodged a bullet a few months ago, and
then she got shot today.
Yeah.
So is that what you're saying?
Nice.
Yeah. But as I said before, we came on air. John Cleese said it, didn't he?
Now he's moved out, hasn't he?
Don't mention the war. It's just not worth it. And I think she broke the rule.
He doesn't live in England anymore, does he? He moved, didn't he? Because he was so fed up with it.
Yeah.
Well, I'll just say to that though, don't mention the war. Jews have been very, very clear on this for a long, long time. The memory of what the Nazis did must be remembered, because we can't allow history to repeat itself. And what she did was show a parallel through the analogy of what the Nazis did to a population to turn people against one group, and that this is happening currently in America. And you have to be forewarned. And she used the most recent, most violent part of our recent history, which illustrates this beyond any reason of doubt perfectly. And it may be an uncomfortable truth, but it is nonetheless the truth. And what she did was responsible, it was powerful,
agreed,
and it was right. And Doomcox came out and said it was wrong and it was disgusting, but he still defended her.
Just shows what he knows.
I sent him an open letter, and I just screenshot my comment I posted on his video about this, and I put it to him. I haven't had a response, but it's been reshared a few times. But I say that as someone of Jewish descent,
you are, yes.
Yeah, yes. My mother is of Jewish descent, so that makes me automatically Jewish, apparently. But that's the way it is. And her parents were the only survivors from Auschwitz. Now, for this, and the media, I've noticed these headlines saying, you know, that she's drawing parallels between Nazis and being a conservative in America. No, that's not what she's saying. What she's saying is that manipulation through the means of turning family against family, neighbors against neighbors, and focusing hatred onto a group of people, doesn't matter what group that is. In the case in the 1930s, it was Jews. Today, it's conservatives in America. It's not beyond the realms of belief or possibility that this can lead to something much darker, because we've seen it from elected officials in the government in power today, saying that they want to put people on lists, that they want to put people into re-education centers, that they want to hunt down supporters of Trump wherever they may be, and to never make them comfortable. This is the kind of rhetoric that turns people against a group of people. And that's really dangerous. And what she did was to highlight that this has happened before very recently and must not be forgotten as a lesson. And Jews will be the first to tell you that you must always stand guard, must always remember what the Nazis did, and to always have it in the forefront of your mind that this could happen again. And, you know, I hope it doesn't. And maybe it won't. But how can we be sure? We must make damn sure. That's how.
What you call it? It reminds me of I can't remember what year. Maybe Cockney Spot can help me on this. Do you remember the time in Hollywood when
the
people were the scripts, they weren't allowed to, they were
blacklisted.
Remember that?
Reds under the bed, basically McCarthyism, basically.
Yeah, that was it.
Which Disney supported, by the way, and you know the communists that they were looking for, Jews. that's basic, because they were anti-Semitic. Disney is historically an anti-Jewish company, always was. So I find that somewhat ironic.
Well, you know, as I said, you know, it's the responsibility of doing good in the world has now become paramount. You know, I mean, it really is. I mean, if this is the way the world's going, then we're all in trouble. You know, free speech being destroyed, and because once free speech is destroyed, we will be in trouble. You know, and then it'll become like Poland, as Cockney Spot was saying yesterday. It'll become like that, and nobody wants it to be like that at all. So, yeah.
Well, you know, the trouble is that the people who are advocating all these things don't understand that history lesson.
They don't. That's
why it's going to be repeated. That's what
they're so stupid and thick.
Yeah,
they just don't understand the material.
And what's sad about this is that our voices are just a drop in the ocean. Even doing something like this is literally a drop in the ocean. So
we need viewers.
No, it's not. It's not. Well, we need people to wake up, and it's going to take a long time for people to wake up.
You know? It's so entrenched. That's the problem. You know, these people's ideologies are so entrenched and ingrained right through from their formative education. This is where it all starts from. This is where the propaganda is.
Well, I would like to think that the 7 people who are watching at the moment and who are in the chat are here because they understand exactly what's going on. So,
or they could be there. They could be there because they're bored and they've got nothing else better to do.
Devil's advocate, or a weird combination of both.
Or they're waiting to talk about Rebecca Gold.
Oh God, no! You don't want to talk about Rebecca Gold.
I do. That's why I'm here.
Available on Amazon.
Yeah, not anymore. Have you heard about Amazon? Yeah. They're taking off stuff now, aren't they?
Yeah, they're cancelling too.
Yeah,
Matt, you got anything to add?
I think it doesn't matter what Gina Carano would have said on social media. It might have been the most innocuous thing. It might have been about taking a dog for a walk. It might have been about saying that the sky is blue. They would have found
taking a dog for a walk is white supremacy.
Yeah, they would have found something offensive and abusive in any word or any image or any emoji that she posted and called her out for being racist and a Nazi for it. It doesn't matter what she would have put. It doesn't matter. And she knew it as well. And I think that she was tired of treading on eggshells and thought, right, you know what, screw this. I'm just going to say what the hell I like and to hell with the consequences. I'm not going to be silenced. I'm not going to be
but listen, life is bigger than Twitter. I'm sorry if she literally thought that way, then I think it's sad. Post. I think it really is very sad that like that sounds like 25% of her life is focused on that. No, that's really sad. Twitter is nothing to me. It's basically a trivial. I just put stuff on it to advertise my wares. That's it. Why would I get into a conversation? If I want a real conversation, there's a thing called a phone. I phone someone, I actually talk to them on the phone or meet them, which you can't do these days. You know,
but you have the privilege of being born in the right generation. You know, I don't know how old she is, but I imagine she's fairly young.
38.
Okay, so I mean, it's still, you know, whatever. I mean, it's still what?
Thanks, Paul.
Yeah, high five, Paul Andrews, by the way. Right back at you, bro.
Her presence is part of her You know, I mean, you look at what Pedro Pascal has gotten away with saying things.
Oh,
like
yeah.
that. I mean, it's
half the country's Nazis. How come he's not getting chastised?
Yeah, there's Christina Ariel and
Double standards.
the other lady who
Yeah,
I
double
keep
standards.
forgetting her name now. But the
Dario, was it Dawson or Rosario Dawson?
Rosario Dawson.
Not Rosario Dawson, but
Sorry.
the two people that are involved with the High Republic from Disney.
Oh, that nasty piece of work.
Both very outspoken anti-white people online with social media, and Ichibaka online went back into their historical tweets and saw so many anti-white comments, and no one's absolutely batted an eyelid within Disney and Lucasfilm about it. They're just allowed to go and
well,
tweet
they actively supported them. You know, that's the thing.
Yeah, and so and that's complete. That is genuinely categorical hate speech. And then Gina Carano has not done anything of the kind, and suddenly she's getting dogpiled and then cancelled. And it's unbelievable double standards. And having to deal with all this crap on a day-to-day basis that no one should have to deal with at all. Just being completely attacked out of the blue for stupid reasons, just because of some kind of groupthink mindset that all think that she's a certain person when she clearly isn't, but they've just got it in their heads. They've been programmed that she is. And Disney is just standing by and just letting it happen. That's what there's so many people out there cancelling now. I saw it last night, one after the other, people cancelling their membership. Apparently there's some kind of investor day conference thing going on for Disney today. So that's going to be interesting to find out what the figures are like for that.
I'd love to be a fly in the wall.
Exactly.
People should avoid watching WandaVision. Just completely boycott it.
I am. Listen, I'm done with Disney in every single thing that they do from now on. I have zero interest.
Yeah.
I was halfway through watching WandaVision. I'm not going to watch anymore. I already stated before, I said I love Gina Carano. It's before this happened. I love Gina Carano, but I'm done with The Mandalorian. It was all over that racist idiot woman on their team. And I was done at that point. So this just cemented it for me completely. All the goodwill they had with them, the Mandalorian, with the Luke thing, that was just a blip from all the shit that they've been up to.
Mm-hmm. And it was just a blip. That's the thing.
Done.
I think Critical Drink has just done something on Gina just now as I'm looking on.
I got a notification.
Social media.
As usual, they see us coming on. They're coming on.
I don't think that's the case somehow.
That's the way I like to see it.
Look, another thing that everybody should consider as well. Another thing that everyone should consider as well, when things like this happen, right? People take advantage for the wrong reasons. So there could be YouTubers out there saying, "Oh, great, this has happened. I can make another video on that." And do you know what I mean? And it's feeding them and stuff. And also that should stop as well.
Profiteering.
I think that should stop. Yeah, exactly.
I said that earlier.
Critical drinker,
profiteering. Money is it? Money's based on outrage. But fuck it. There's an audience.
That's the double standards of it all.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Tough. This is, people. This is what people do. I mean, something like I remember Az was made a joke out of it, and we was talking about. I think it was Doctor Who, and we were saying I was on Gary's channel, and I said, I'm not going to watch it. Why would I? Why'd I contribute to this New Year's Day one? And he just laughed and he said, I'm going to watch it because I'm going to make money out of it. I'm going to make money. I'm going to make money. And he started shouting. And I thought it was quite funny, but there's some truth into that as well.
Funny because it's true, or maybe not funny, just true.
Yeah, because he's feeding off. Basically, he's making matters worse by making money on it by watching the show. Do you understand? I'm saying adding to the 4 million to the show. I mean, it's in one way it's double standard, but in the other way I can see his point. So
someone's got to.
I'm not. Exactly. I'm not really. Not really saying that he's a bad person or anything like that. I understand what he's doing, put it that way, but he has to understand that he's adding to the problem. There you go.
Exactly.
What can you do?
He's also.
Well, we're adding to the problem just talking about it.
Exactly.
By what we are.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. We're adding to the problem as well.
It's free advertising for Disney.
Yeah. Well, I mean. Everybody wants attention, right? As we spoke about this before in another live stream, we all want attention. Love and attention is what human beings strive for. And doing something like this, I guess, is a bit more of attention because life is so dull these days.
At the moment.
Yeah, exactly.
Would you like to know what she said in the post? It says Jews were beaten in the streets, not by Nazi soldiers, but by their neighbours.
Beaten. Dunker.
Just checking.
I think it's just his accent.
Bitten. They were bitten. They were sniped at.
Cockney has a very bad habit of
interrupting when it's very important and serious.
Okay.
I'm finishing your sentences.
And your sandwiches.
Jews were beaten in the streets, not by Nazi soldiers, but by their neighbours, even by children. Because history is edited, most people today don't realise that to get to the point where Nazi soldiers could easily round up thousands of Jews, the government first made their own neighbours hate them by simply for being Jews. How is that different from hating someone for their political views? Spot on.
Yeah,
exactly.
And then you see the picture. You got the picture as well in front of you.
The brown shirts are coming.
Yeah, but do you see the little thing with the dead Kennedys down there saying?
But she became the
Nazi
picture,
punks,
didn't she?
fuck off.
That's the irony. The through line to George Michael in 1984. I know it's all well.
It was almost like a self-fulfilling prophecy, isn't it?
She became the picture. That's basically a picture of Gina Carano, metaphorically, getting bitten or beaten by the Twitterati. Isn't it?
Yeah.
Where's that picture?
Thank you for correcting my accent. Sorry, mate.
Bitterschön. Or Bitterschön, if you like.
I think she's learnt a harsh lesson. Yeah.
What, that of an opinion?
Well, why is it she has to learn the lesson and these arseholes don't?
And Pedro Pascal doesn't.
I know.
You know what I mean?
Double standards. Double standards.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, double standards.
Really.
It's even worse than double standards because I don't even see what she's done that's particularly wrong. Apart from there's inherent controversy in what she's
having an opinion, seemingly.
Correct opinion, wasn't it? She was a
Are Disney going to recast?
No.
I don't care. We're not going to watch it.
They're not going to film it. They're going to cancel the show. Fuck it.
The story arc at the end of season 2 kind of just wrapped itself up almost. So there's not any real reason to go forwards with her as a character anyway. So they'll just keep going with the Mandalorian and it'll be about a different subject.
Story arc. There were no stories like that video put out. Every week it was just Mandalorian.
Let's go for a walk.
We need help with that thing, and we'll give you this bottle of water. You've got to shoot that.
That is exactly it. Yeah, that's their idea of a story arc. Yeah, that's their idea.
The Blandalorian. That's why I couldn't believe everyone was losing their shit over it. It was just like, okay, because it's a bowl of tapioca is better than the shit sandwich we've been eating for the last 4 years in Disney.
It is.
But compared to the steaks that we were getting 20 years ago, it's still fucking tapioca.
That's the problem. That's the reason behind the flood of goodwill for the show is that it wasn't complete dog shit. That's all. It wasn't great. It wasn't really particular quality.
That's for so long they've lowered the bar and lowered the bar and lowered the bar again.
Yeah.
And it got people trained like a Pavlov's dog to accept. At least it isn't woke. At least it isn't woke. And that gives them carte blanche to put out any drivel as long as there's no gender or political ideology involved.
You know what? I kind of disagree with everyone, right? I think the Mandalorian.
Everyone at the same time. I like.
Really, all of us.
Wow.
Well, everybody that says that the Mandalorian was bland, I think that was the plan all along from Favreau. I think Favreau is more cleverer than you think.
By making it deliberately bland.
Yeah. And if you listen to my explanation, basically, I think he made it that way because he didn't want to invite politics into what he was putting out there. So he made it very simple. Plus, Filoni, I think it's Filoni, the other guy. Yeah, he's very much a cartoon man. So when you basically watch his cartoons, they're very, very simple. Okay, so Mandalorian was. Let's face it, the Mandalorian character is not very clever at all. He's such a dumbass, let's face it.
Yeah.
But then I think that was the plan all along, to make something that wasn't going to creep into politics. So you make it as simple as possible, pile on the action because people want to see action, make sure it's short for the short attention span people. You know, it was all, in my opinion, I think it was all planned. And
No, totally
yes,
agree with
yeah, I totally agree with you that it was bland. But as far as I'm concerned, it was bland enjoyment and it was enjoyable. And
no, I did enjoy
else,
it.
Yeah,
I
what
did
else can
enjoy
you ask for in a TV show?
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
that's, well, you can ask for more, obviously, but I mean, I think he did it deliberately to stay out of politics. And also, if you look at The Mandalorian very carefully, its head was well below the radar of Star Wars. It was Star Wars, but it was
Yes.
well below the radar, and it's still hiding. Mandalorian's still hiding because the next season is going to be all about Boba Fett. Do you know what I mean? So he's playing it safe until he needs to come out like he did with Luke Skywalker. Do you know what I mean? So I think it's very clever what he's doing. And I don't think a lot of people realize that he did it deliberately this way. But then this is just my opinion, obviously.
I wonder. I mean, it specifically
Nothing
is
now.
when are they does anyone know when are they due to start filming season 3 of The Mandalorian?
I have no idea, mate.
I think it's on hiatus, isn't it? Because they got.
I know.
Boba Fett thing.
I know that Obi-Wan is being filmed at the moment in Blighty somewhere.
They are actually filming it. Is that right?
Yeah. They actually pissed off the locals, didn't they?
They did.
Yeah, something
Okay.
about leaving the set or destroying something
Yeah.
in the small town that they were shooting in.
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah.
Typical Disney.
There
Or
you
film people in general, actually.
Yeah, it's crazy when you think about it, though. As I said, I still cannot believe the world is going this way. You know,
I don't think any of us can.
yeah,
Crazy
it's
timeline.
It is, isn't it? I mean, you know, why aren't we all sitting in the pub talking about this? It's absolutely. There's some good stuff about what's happening in the world, because if it wasn't for this, I would never have gone on live stream. I'd never have met Problem B and Lee or.
But he forgets to tag. In his,
there's some nice things about. Yeah, well, sorry. There's some nice things about what's happened, and you know, and also
Chocolate covered almonds.
that's right, you know, and stuff like that. But you know, but then there are some negative sides to it. But then again, that's life, isn't it? That's the way life has always been. So we just got to make the best of shit, basically.
What we've got.
Exactly.
If life gives you lemons, then make lemonade.
Make lemonade, yeah, usual
Or
shit.
as my dad, as my son says, if life gives you lemons, squeeze lemon juice in their eyes.
I just don't understand how people like Gina Carano are doing this to make the world a better place. But there's these people who are so young and immature and angry that they can't see the bigger picture of what's going on. So
self-loathing.
Yeah, by their actions, it's just making it worse for them. You know, forget about me, forget about you. It's just making it worse for them in, say, 5-10 years' time. But they're so fucking stupid. They just can't see the bigger picture of what they're doing.
Can you imagine what we would have been like if we had the internet and social media?
I just went out raving. I just went out raving.
Yeah, same.
I remember there was an interview with George Kennedy. I don't know if you know the actor. He's dead now, George Kennedy. In fact, if you see his face, you'll know who he is. He's been in he's been in a shitload of movies, okay, in the 40s and the 50s, and his face was always present. But when he's walking down the road, nobody could tell you what his name was. I remember he was being interviewed. I think he was in his 70s at the time. I don't know if he's still alive. I think he might be still alive. But
looking him up now.
He was saying that he loved his life because nobody recognized him. You know, obviously a few people recognize him, but he was never in the camp of the big Charlton Heston, you know, Rock Hudson, even though he starred with them a lot. He was never in that camp. And he actually realized that was the best place to be, under the radar. He was getting work constantly. He was fulfilling his dream, but yet he didn't have the shit that came with being Rock Hudson, where they were mobbed everywhere he went in his prime. And he loved it. And that's when he realized that he had made it more so than those people. That he says that fame is not what you think it is, you know, and he realized that a long time ago. So there you go.
He was also in
George Kennedy died 2016. So through line, he's literally a dead Kennedy.
Oh,
39 minutes.
It's the same thing with Ronnie Barker as well. Ronnie Barker was accomplished
Ronnie
actor, was
Barker.
accomplished.
I met him as a kid.
He's accomplished. He's accomplished
Ronnie
comedian.
Barker.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, he knew his talent and he didn't want that much fame. And then, you know, there were sketches. You know, what is it? The Four Candles sketch.
Four Candles.
Yeah.
You know
Four
what?
Candles.
He wrote
That's
that
it.
in secret and he sent it in under a name, under a different name. And
Ronnie
and
Corbett.
the people that got that sketch, they loved it, so they made it, right? But he kept constantly writing in, and they kept saying, "Who is this fella that keeps writing in and taking, you know, making these great?" And then in one day they had this huge dinner party, and he stood up and said it was him. So he wanted people to
40
take
minutes.
what he wrote, right, and not see him, because they'd be completely biased over what was written. If it was written by someone they didn't know, then they can see it for truly is, see it for what it truly is. And I think that's really clever. You know, these things are never, ever, ever said when it comes to entertainment. These things are never, ever remembered. These fundamental great wisdoms from people that you hardly well, I do remember Ronnie Barker, obviously, but
Ronnie Barker.
but yeah, those things really blow me away when I learn things.
But now
like
everyone
that.
on Twitter thinks they are a Ronnie Barker when they're not. That's the thing, you know. Everyone on Twitter thinks they're a celebrity because they've got X amount of people following them or retweeting them or liking their stuff, and that kind of reaffirmation, that bubble, that kind of cycle of you know appeasement, and it's artificial, and it's sad that they've confused that with reality, and that they're on the right side of the history because X amount of people like what they had to say. You know, never mind about outside of that bubble, how many people in the real world will disagree completely. And it's like they feel that they have to constantly bombard you with their ailments and their mental health and the isms and
how special they are.
And how, yeah, and it's like a badge of honor to be depressed. It's a badge of honor to have ADHD. It's a badge of honor to have this disability, that mental disability, this thing, that thing wrong with them, or that identity, this sexual thing. Whether they stick that in, and you know, and it's this weird kind of need to advertise themselves in a way that they are celebrating all the negative aspects of their existence, or all the complex mechanics of their bodies, of their minds, that it needs to be celebrated in some way, or affirmed and acknowledged, constantly needing that. And it's really, I don't understand. Surely, like back in the day, if you had mental health issues, you wanted to get that fixed. Now you want it to be acknowledged and celebrated, and that's very worrying. I think,
and everyone else to be the same as you.
Yes, yeah. Conformity is the order of the day. They always talk about how different they are, and like, you don't like me because I'm different. And it's like, listen, I went through the goth thing, right? We all thought we were different. We just all ended up looking the same. And this is the conformity measure of youth. I think youth, no matter what form you took, whether you were chav, whether you were a norm, whether you were a goth, whatever, it was still conforming, right, to a particular group or subgroup or whatever it was. But it was that need to belong, that need to, and when you transpose that onto the online social media world, where it's the entire fucking, well, not the entire world, but a vast number of people from across the world sitting there in judgment, a fingertip can make an instant judgment on you, where you need to put pictures of yourself up, and you know, every 5 minutes, and hashtag this, and that kind of peer pressure, it must be absolutely phenomenal. And it's no wonder that these people conform at the level and the intensity that they do. And I think that really does speak to the power of the social construction of social media, and how it manipulates and controls the youth in order to give them so much validation that it empowers them. It empowers all their negativity, because it's a negativity that they need affirmation for, because they're so self-conscious about it, that it sort of expounds and expands and becomes more prominent and celebrated, and therefore more of it appears. You know, it seems to be a self-fulfilling thing. but it's so manipulative. Twitter and all these things. These are scientifically created engines of political and social control.
It certainly is. Certainly.
It's like a lot of things, isn't it? As soon as it becomes popular, as soon as it's visible by a high number of people, then it's used as a platform.
It's true. One of the saddest days in my life is when geekdom became popular.
Yeah.
Because then you felt that you weren't a special person. Because when I was at school, it was only me and a bunch of a handful of kids that were into Doctor Who and Star Wars, and
it was the least popular thing in the world. Like, you get beaten up for it,
Yeah, and we felt special. We felt that we could see more than most people. But today, now, even Brad Pitt's meant to be a geek, apparently. So it's made it not popular. It's made it. That was a sad day when I realized it was.
It's like Nerdrotic said, the jocks became the nerds.
Yeah, it's like Robert Meyer Burnett talks about the post-geek singularity, but I'm now realizing we don't want that. We prefer the shadows of the pre-geek singularity when it was special. I say, you're a mega geek. Everyone's a geek now. They're all fucking geeks.
Post-geekism.
So,
we're in the shadows.
So actually, we want it to peak geek. We want to cross path geek.
Trad geek.
Yeah, well, if geeks are in, we're going to become normies then. I like Crossroads.
I want to become, yes.
I'm going to go around with a Meg Mortimer t-shirt. I keep bringing it up.
No, Benny hat.
Benny
likes the Crossroads. Benny.
Sandy
Benny
Mortimer.
Blu-ray. There you go. I want the spin-off series. Benny Solo.
Solo lost money, didn't it?
But as I remember when I was at school, my friends, obviously they weren't my friends, but people at school, they were into learning how to drive. Farrah trousers, do you remember that? They were into clothes and stuff like that. And I remember, me and my friends were still reading comics. We're still talking about Doctor Who and how bad the effects was with, and stuff like that. And as I said, it was a sad day when it all became very, 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 very popular, and it suddenly disappeared from us.
Well, it's definitely the return of Doctor Who. During the Tennant era, it sort of, that's when I started to feel sort of nudged out. But obviously that increased. But it was still kind of a unified fan. It was all very exciting up until the 50th, and it was great. And then this happened with the current Chibnall, and it was just like, and then all the crazy shit from Twitter kind of took over the Doctor Who fandom, calling us suddenly toxic and that we should die of cancer and you don't belong in this fandom, get the fuck out. What the fuck? What happened? What, Because I don't like a particular actress and a particular showrunner and particular writers.
Isn't that a hate crime though? Saying, or it's an attack saying you should die of cancer.
Yeah, and that happened more than once, and that was from an admin from one of the Doctor Who groups on Facebook. Yeah, right. So I just completely unsubbed from every single Doctor Who group from that point on.
The thing is, they can get away with saying that. That's the worst thing.
And they continue to, yeah. But if you dare say anything against them, my God, they'll pile on you and you'll be, booted off sooner than you can say hypocrite.
It doesn't look good for us, though, does it?
No.
It doesn't look good for us because Parler, they destroyed Parler.
Yeah, it's like, okay, we're not welcome on Twitter. We'll go on to this other thing,
and then they destroyed it.
And then they destroy it. So you lost both your platforms. It's so disingenuous. The whole thing is a concerted campaign
for the
vilify,
uninitiated. What was Parler? That was a platform. What was the selling
Parler?
Point?
Was like Twitter.
Yeah, not as good. I mean, in terms of its build, but you know.
No. A lot of people were on there. Yeah, a lot of people were on there. Everyone that we know was on there because they knew that Twitter was toxic, and there was some place they can go to actually speak their mind without being attacked. And then suddenly it's gone. Yeah, it's gone.
Yeah, it's all a hive of right-wing radicals and this nonsense. And look, I'm sure there probably are some on there, but you can't vilify everyone. It's a joke. It's a joke.
Anyway, it doesn't really matter. I think the thing that we have to learn from this is not to go on Twitter, not to, display your wares, so to speak, on Twitter or your political. It's pointless. Just leave it. You want people to see your stuff. If you've got stuff out there, advertise your stuff. Because listen, Twitter is just a advertising platform, as far as I'm concerned.
It is, yes, I know.
Politics. I don't have any politics on there whatsoever. In fact, I think today I went back and eliminated some of the things that I actually said, just to be prepared for the future, because it's getting worse. Twitter's getting worse. So you might as well just go back, eliminate some of the stuff that you think is going to cause you problems in the future, and carry on advertising on Twitter, because that's all it's good for. It is not good for anything else.
I will never do that. I'll stand by absolutely everything I've ever said. And, if it comes to suddenly, if I wake up one day and I'm offered a job to do something, I'll just delete the whole damn thing. So I won't need it again.
I know. That's a good thing.
I recommend just making piss take videos on YouTube. Works for me. That's just me, though.
I tell you what, that's the thing that really annoys them most is humor, because they have none themselves.
Yeah, but even humor's being outlawed, isn't it?
Yeah,
you got it. Yeah, pretty much. Well, memes, etc. Yeah,
exactly. As I said, it's going this way.
Far right dog whistle now.
But the only way to fight it is to actually, come out of it. That's the thing. And look, they're all fighting it's like fighting over a turd. They're all fighting for this turd. You might as well just step away and say, you can have the turd.
You can have it, mate. You can have it.
You can have it. Yeah, because that's what it is. It makes no sense.
Well, I turned it into a turd.
I've polished it now.
I'm good at
I think someone said it best. It's like one day Twitter was like a perfectly reasonable place to be, and all of a sudden, all the kids from Instagram popped onto Twitter, and that was it. It's like they brought the same vile mentality of ganging up on people and using disgusting slurs and all sorts to cancel people, and that's kind of, it's like the Instagram generation grew up, went on Twitter, and brought their shitty attitudes with them and ruined it for everybody else.
The first time I heard of Twitter was through Jonathan Ross on Jonathan Ross show, which was on the BBC, and he was talking to, I can't remember, I think he was talking to Jackie Chan, and he was saying, I really like Twitter. And in those days, you could actually talk to Jonathan Ross on Twitter. You could tweet him something and he would tweet back, because it wasn't so infested by so many people. And if you look at it, how it started, and you see it now, really it's just a big lump of turd now. That's all it is. So you might as well just use it to your advantage, which is to advertise. That's it. That's all I'm going to do now. Let's face it. So, use it to your advantage. Don't, talk to people, obviously, your friends and stuff. But, when the toxic people come along, just block them. It's all there is to it, really, as Bruce Forsyth used to say. So there you go.
Nice to block you. To block you, nice.
Yeah. They're all there is to it. Yeah. So,
I thought there was going to be a Disney series with Gina Carano and Bill Burr. Will she be recast, or is that dead?
Dead.
Who knows now?
Well, they only posted those things to see what would stick. All these things, half of them will never be realised anyway. So
exactly, 11 announcements. Someone at Disney art department basically got a copy of Adobe Illustrator and started wanking off basically 11 different logos.
Yeah.
I mean, just to take the piss, I did about 3 before I got bored with the idea, just to show how easy it is. It's just, half of them aren't going to get made.
I remember somebody said, don't you want to be remembered? Don't you want to be remembered for what you've done in life when you die and stuff like that? And my answer to that is always, I don't care. When I'm dead, I'm dead. If they erect a statue of me when I die, I'm not going to know it because I'll be dead. Do you know what I mean? So what's the point of going through all this arguing over a piece of turd? There's no point, is there? Because at the end of the day, right, the only people that are most important to you is your family, your friends, and being kind to everyone. That's the most important thing of all. Everything else is just. Yeah, everything else is just everything else, isn't it? You're concentrating too much on the turd to see what's around it. That's the way I see life you know, unfortunately, I see it now because I'm a lot older. When I was in my 20s, I should have saw it, but I was just like everybody else in my 20s, you know, a dumb, stupid idiot, which I still am now, actually. But you know,
in our 50s, we realised that we're still dumb, stupid idiots.
We
Whereas
are,
in 20s,
yeah, of course.
we 20s we're idiots, but we don't realise we're idiots. At least
well, it's like Oscar Wilde said, isn't it? You know, the old believe everything, the middle-aged suspect everything, the young know everything.
But you know what, right? There's an old saying from Trinidad. My mum always used to say to me, "What is it? Once a man, twice a child." Which makes sense. Well, let me explain
like Shakespeare said that. You know, the 3 stages of man. You know, it's like you start off a mewling babe, then you become a man, and then you become a
child again.
Toddler.
Yeah, you become a child again when you're old, because then suddenly people are looking after you.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Remember, when I was looking after my grandmother, it was like looking after a child.
My father is resorting back to being a child. Yes, agreed.
You know, was it once a girl, twice a woman? No, twice a woman, once a girl, or something. You can revert it to females as well. In fact, you can revert it to the human race.
Once a Rebecca, twice a gold.
Yeah.
3 for a goal, 4 for
a yeah, magpie. Yeah, as I said,
I'm not magpie phobic.
I you know what? I was always
Smart
against.
birds.
I was always against the middle class and the upper class, even when I was young. You know, I never ever liked Blue Peter, because that seemed to be for the, you know, the middle class, upper class kids. I was always Magpie or Tiz was. I was never Swap Shop. Yeah, you know. And as I said, I always found those ones more interesting.
Swap Shop's right here.
That's
He's right here at the bottom of the
screen. Are you still there, Matt?
I'm listening attentively, mate. Now I'm listening.
As I said, all of us, we all have bias, right? All of us, you know, I think the whole point of life is to find a balance. Yes, you believe what you believe, and God bless you and all that stuff, but don't try and convince people of what you believe. Okay, if they ask you, tell them what you believe, but then it's up to them, because there's such thing as free speech and free will. Once they take that away from us, we're fucked, basically.
Well, that goes back to Gina Carano, because they've taken it from her.
Yeah, they're just.
I still think all ideas should be challenged. It doesn't matter what the idea is,
because you can learn from people when people do challenge you. That's the whole point. Yeah. If you're clever enough, you could hear what the other person is saying and learn something.
Yeah,
you know.
Exactly.
Do you know what? I'd like to go back a couple of minutes to a point that Mega Geek made, because I think it's such a profound point.
About 2 women.
Well, no, that's a future point that I'm going to make in a minute. But I think a lot of people think about I know Alexander the Great, who basically is remembered throughout history. You know, apparently Julius Caesar, who himself has become a legendary figure, went basically to the grave of Alexander the Great. I mean, I wasn't there, but so I read, because he was so impressed with him. That's what an amazing colossus of history, Alexander the Great, or Napoleon. But I think basically Mega Geeks just fucking wipe them all out and reveal them for the wankers that they are, because they're basically, you know, I've conquered India, I've conquered the no one. So fucking what? You're still dead, mate. And it's true that these amazing people, whoever it is, that Bill Gates,
can't take it with you.
You can't. And Bill Gates must be going, "Oh, I'm amazing." Or you know, anyone like that.
Up until the point he falls over.
Steve Jobs said, "I wanted to put a dent in the universe," but I think Mega Geek, you've taken it to the next level. It doesn't matter, because it's just a thought in your head. The idea that you'll be remembered once you're brown bread, it doesn't matter anyway. No matter how many statues there are,
and you'll only be remembered the way the future generations choose to remember you.
Exactly.
So it may start
I don't know
but it might end badly.
Exactly. So I think Mega Geek's right. Don't worry about what future generations are going to think of you. Even if you do get a statue of you, so fucking what? It's your family.
Will the future generations of youngsters and activists be ripping down statues of Steve Jobs?
They've already been ripping down statues. Do you not notice? So
apparently,
they'll take statues of themselves down.
Has set up a committee with a bunch of people who have stated very politically salty things in the past. And they're talking about renaming any streets that are connected in any way to the slave trade, and taking down statues of Queen Elizabeth I. This is happening in London right now.
But didn't
So-
I'm sure in California, I mean, and there's so much news coming in, it's too much to handle. I'm sure in California, someone took down a statue of Mahatma Gandhi. It's like throwing the
Yeah.
baby out of the bathwater.
Well, they
in their-
defaced
in their
Mahatma
fervour.
Gandhi's statue in London as well during, the
I mean, what the
upsets.
hell? I mean, unless it's some kind of Pakistani separatist, but it's well. I mean, to be fair, Mahatma Gandhi wasn't perfect. He had this thing, just to be really controversial. Didn't he have this thing about I'm going to prove how chaste I am by having 3 hot chicks sleep with me just to prove I don't need to? Yeah, all right, Mahatma, whatever. We've all tried that.
But you know what? I think it's. I think I don't know if any of you have experienced losing a loved one.
Mhm.
When you
Yes.
experience that, you
Yes.
suddenly realize how life is, it's just fleeting, and also everything that you've loved,
Yes.
everything that you care about. At the end of the day, it's gonna be nothing to you, And this is the reason why I hope there is something out there that is an all-seeing, all-powerful thing. Because
Yeah.
if there isn't, all of this is senseless. All of it.
I
Yeah.
think I would agree.
This
People
is getting very deep on 1 hour.
people need
deep.
some tragedy in their life to get
Mm.
a sense of perspective
up.
about to wake up. And losing a loved one, losing my mother, you get a sense of perspective of what's going on. That
True.
a lot of it is just
They're all-
bullshit.
They're
It's
all
fucking
fleeting moments.
bullshit.
Like,
But to
I tell you
them,
what, I'll say-
it's the most important bullshit going. And it's not.
I'll tell you this story, right? And it's true. Okay, right. And this goes to prove the power of belief. Okay, so my dad was in St. George's Hospital. He was dying of cancer, right? And because I'm come from a huge family, out of everybody, he asked me to find the priest. Because in every hospital there's a chapel.
Mm-hmm.
So I went, and he was going to die in the next hour. So I went down and I found the priest, and I said, "My dad wants last rites. He's on his last legs. Can you come up?" And the priest said, "I'm really sorry, I can't do it. I've got 6 other people to do." So I went up to my dad, and he said, maybe in the next 5 hours I'll be available, but I'm sorry, there's nothing I can do. So I went up to Dad and I said, "Dad, because my dad was high on, because they pumped him with a lot of drugs." So I said, "Dad, I'm sorry," but he said he can't do it. You know what my dad said? He said, "I'll wait." And he did. He went past the 5 hours.
Brilliant.
The priest came up, gave him his last
Brilliant.
rite. 15 minutes later, he had gone.
Brilliant.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't. To this day, right? I don't understand that concept. That
Sheer power of
actually
will.
happened. Yeah,
Power of the
because
mind, mate.
even when I'm telling you this, I still don't believe it. The doctor said to us, he's got an hour tops,
Wow.
and my dad survived for the last 4 hours just to get the last rites.
I think
That's
he
amazing.
was departing on his terms.
In his
So
terms,
just
exactly
shows
right.
the power of the mind. It's amazing. Amazing.
Sheer willpower.
Wow, as deep is this?
That is
I know,
very deep.
crazy.
Whoa.
You've got to live for the
very
moment.
deep.
Do you know, I was saving these
Yeah.
Tim Tams, but fuck it, I'm having them now. Live for the moment. Not to
Are you doing the
put
Tim Tams
but not to put a
unboxing?
trivial on it. Yeah, Tim Tam unboxing. But I'd almost be repeating a story, so I won't. But I had a similar thing with my dad before he passed, rest his soul. So I'll just say similar thing, not to take away from, but exactly that. So it's amazing the power of the mind and the body. Just to you can't make yourself live to be 500 years old, but you can last another few
I'll
hours or
tell you
another
a
week.
story with regards to my mother. My mother was on kidney dialysis for quite a long time, and I'd been out raving. To
There's a lot of
Birmingham.
raving in your stories.
Yeah, and I didn't know that over the weekend she'd been taken into hospital really ill, and on the Monday night, I worked nights at the time. I thought, okay, I'll pop into the hospital before I went to work, and going to see your mother in a very, very bad state, while high, as it were, gave me the
That's gonna harsh you,
opportunity.
Mello. Sorry, go on.
Basically gave me the opportunity where it was I could just be honest with her, and you know, families fight, families do this, families do that. We were never from a close family. Lots of fighting, 2 alcoholics. And yeah, it's just me and my mother, and it just gave me the opportunity to say, you know, how I felt about her, and you know, that I loved her, and you know, I always have, and that was like the last time I saw her alive. And all these little fuckers on Twitter with their anger issues and oh, I'm special, they are just so full of fucking shit. They just need to fucking wise up and figure out what's important about life.
Mm.
Yeah.
Positivity is important about life, not trying to destroy people, because people have feelings, and if you get off on destroying somebody, well, I think that makes you a very, very bad person. And end of the day, it's bullshit, because, you know, it's things like seeing your mother ill and telling you how you feel about your mother, you know, for the first time in God knows how many, probably ever. That's the important things in life. And they just need to, as we've said, the youth is wasted on the young, isn't it? It's just
Indeed.
Wisdom comes with age,
yeah.
right?
I just hope that they, it's people like us that are fighting it for the benefit of them. That's the fucking irony of it all.
Yeah.
But they're so stupid and so
Yeah,
narrow-minded.
Well,
They
we
don't
were
fuck
like
it-
that, though. We were like
I
that
know,
when we were
I
their
know,
age. You know?
but-
It's just the thing. It's just the way it goes. It's like you can't have an
Give them a
up without
mobile
a
phone,
down.
mate.
You
Give them a
can't have an
mobile
up without a
phone.
down. You
Yeah,
can't have
I
a
know.
coin without, you know, without heads or tails. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's just
I
part of
know.
life. But the thing is, though, that's why it's so important to be a parent when you have kids.
Yeah.
You literally have to create the platform so they can build a life on morals, on
Yep.
respect for human beings. If you don't do that as a parent, then
I think
that
it's bad
kid's going to grow up.
parenting.
Yeah, that kid's going to grow up to be an asshole, you know? Then again,
Basically, until they learn.
Unfortunately, it's probably parents of my age, maybe Disney Plus's age and Lee's age, that have, you know, oh, you're so special, you're amazing, you know, 24/7.
Well, it's like girls are raised to be princesses.
Yeah.
Boys are told that they can't cry. You know, they're told that, you know, you have to behave in this kind of way. You're told to behave in that kind of way, and it kind of is a self. I mean, I saw something on Twitter that was really quite disturbing, and it was, the names were, I mean, it was screenshotted and the names blurred out, but it was basically a couple of parents or a few parents talking on in a Twitter thing, and it was just a really sort of, oh my God, you know, being so, oh, well done us kind of thing, you know, like how they've raised their 3-year-old trans child without anyone knowing about it. The school didn't know about it. The services didn't know anything about it. No one else knew about it, only them. And isn't it brave? And, you know, aren't we amazing? And I'm so proud. And it just kind of like, how at the age of 3 are you supposed to know, you know, these things? And again, when I spoke on Cotley Spock's stream earlier, you know, the purest state of the human mind is a state of confusion.
Yeah.
When you're born, you're confused, right? So when you're confused, you're at the perfect stage to be imprinted. Because someone comes along, has the answer. So
yeah, but the problem is the imprinting is by parents who are trying to imprint adult values on children who haven't got the mental development, you know, the capacity.
Well, it's their own biases.
They're basically robbing children of being children.
Well, the irony is Stonewall is
they're not allowed to grow up.
Stonewall is an organization that's supposed to be for LGBT rights, right? No, more for tea than anything else at the moment.
Is that because of the Stonewall riots in New York? Is that where they got the name from?
That's where it stemmed from, yeah. But
okay, just checking.
They make these campaigns about being against conversion therapy for gays, right? But they are pro-transing children who may very well just be a gay child. But we'll never know because they'll be put on beta blockers and not beta block, hormone blockers.
That's
blockers.
adults. That's adults intervening.
It's adults who would rather have a nice straight daughter or straight son. And it doesn't matter what sex they're born with, but they will allow that if a male child is showing any feminine signs, I'd rather that was a daughter than they were gay. It seems.
It doesn't matter how. Look, it doesn't matter how a parent raises their kids. Okay, it really, really doesn't matter as long as they raise them to be kind and to respect other human beings, right? Whether they raise them as trans this or trans that or whatever, it doesn't matter as long as the parents have kindness in their heart and have respect for other human beings and they raise that kid. Those are the most important things. You know, believing in God or believing in some kind of religion, that helps too, especially if the religion is pure and good. But no one has the right to tell anyone how to raise their kids at all. It's up to them. It's none of our business. As long as they don't raise monsters, you know, it should be fine. And they should be encouraged not to raise monsters. That's just common sense, really. Let's face it. I don't know why they try to make these things complicated because it really isn't. You know,
just let the kid grow up naturally and then figure out. You know, they're just trying to. It seems to me they're just trying to make a 3-year-old grow up to be 18. You know, very, very quickly, and not kind of letting, because the human brain doesn't finish developing until about, was it 22, 23?
That's what he was saying on the early check. Exactly. So you're up to 25 even.
And they're trying to steamroller these young brains into being grown-up adults at the age of 5.
Ridiculous.
And also,
we're still learning in our 50s.
Another thing that people have to realize as well is, right, you could raise a kid and give them all these wonderful things and make sure that they respect. And they could still be a horrible person. Like, for instance, you know, I come from a family of 7. And my brother Lee, he was a troubled kid. You know, no matter how my dad raised all of us the same way, although he did raise us, you know, with a smack round the head and stuff like that. You know, he was very pro that. But Lee, right, he went out of his way to do all kinds of things. He stole from shops. You know, he threw things through windows and stuff. He was always in trouble. Do you know what I mean? But there's only so much you can do. It's up to that person, right?
Yeah. Agreed. But they're just trying to they're just putting all these, putting the weight of the world
overly complicating.
Yeah,
it's
kids just want to go outside and play with other kids, and they're not even allowed to do that now.
I mean, at the age of 3, I don't even know what a boy or girl is. You know, like really. It's only when you're at primary school or nursery school do you start working out the differences, you know. I just think, you know, how can you make that judgment call?
University educated people of my age, a little bit younger.
Out-raving.
Yeah. Just trying to be making kids grow up years before their time. Real Honest in the chat, as I'm saying that, says, just let kids be kids.
Just let kids be kids. Amen to that.
Agreed, mate. Spot on. Amen.
So just keep them on the moral straight and narrow at the same time.
Yeah.
Oh, there he is. I was going to say, I can hear Swap Shop. I can hear your brain.
Are you there, mate?
I can hear it.
You're all saying what I'm thinking, so I'm not going to butt in.
You're allowed to.
Nice. Well.
I would just like to say as well, though, one thing I thought was quite poignant last night was someone mentioned how Disney fired James Gunn and then hired him back again a few months later.
Yeah.
With not much funfair. Yeah.
Could happen.
Money talks.
So were they being sincere when they fired him or sincere when they rehired him? Because obviously
that's
a good question.
I don't even know which it is. I mean, yeah.
Yeah,
because I like his film.
That's politically
expedient at the time. Because that's that art with the artist thing. Because quite frankly, as far as his films go, Guardians of the Galaxy 1 and 2 are for me by far and away the best 2 of all the MCU films. by a long shot, by a lot for me. And I'm waiting. For the third one. But I
Was
hear
it the
his
Winter
tweets are quite
Soldier?
a bit evil.
Was it the second Captain America one I like? Which one
I
was
didn't
that?
even see those. That wasn't Gunmo,
Winter
was
Soldier, wasn't it?
Yeah, the Winter
he did-
Soldier, I think's the best one out of all the Disney stuff.
it? Really?
In my opinion.
Nah, Guardians.
I think Guardians of
1
the
and 2.
Galaxy was my
Oh yeah,
favorite.
well yeah,
By
that was
far. By
the more kind
far.
of
But then I
adult
don't like superheroes. Never have, even when I was
orientated stuff was. I really did like the Captain America. The Winter Soldier was fantastic.
Never saw it.
Oh,
Not
you should check it
interested.
out. It's a great film. The Captain America ones are great.
I'm just
Disney?
not interested in Captain America.
Yeah, but it's
Captain
Disney, and
Poland.
I'm not touching any Disney from now on until
Captain
this
Cockney,
is
that's what
resolved.
I want to see. The superhero from the East End. I can hear the Bow Bells.
I actually did buy. I've been completely anti-Disney anything, and I haven't bought one single thing to do with Disney, merchandise or visual medium-wise since The Last Jedi. And recently, was it like towards the end of last year, there was a limited run release, and it was you had to really sort of strive to find it. But it was a particular Star Wars figure I got from the Old Republic, and it's like a favorite character of mine. Darth Nihil, and I don't really collect the 6-inch figures anyway, but this is like the only one I really have because I knew how limited edition it was going to be, and I really like the character because I keep it in its box, keep it on display kind of thing. And that's the only thing I've bought because it has Disney as a label on anything with Star Wars, merchandise now has a Disney label on it. And I kind of saw that and I just kind of spat internally almost when I saw it. And I thought, well, that's the only way I'm going to get the figure because it's just not available anywhere else. That's the only thing I've bought. And I feel bad about that purchase. I really do. And every time someone says, I'm never going to touch, I'm never going to spend anything, I'm never going to subscribe, I'm never going to watch anything, I just think, oh, shit, I really wish I hadn't bought that,
It's like
I probably should have looked through it.
Catholic or something.
yeah, pretty much. It's funny that you should equate
and the
it
guilt as well.
Oh, is it
Yeah,
Darth, I'm just looking at it. Darth Nihilus, is that it?
Yeah, that's Darth Nihilus, yeah.
Nihilus?
Never heard of it.
Nihilus? I don't pronounce it. No, I just looked it up. It looks quite mean, actually. To be fair,
it's a very good character. It's from the Old Republic games from way before Disney, and they're incredible, absolutely incredible. The lore, the writing, the characterization, everything in them was incredible, and everything afterwards has just been bland shite. So I've just not touched it.
Is it a
Don't feel
hot
bad.
toy?
Allow yourself one. You won't have put them back in black financially by buying one figure. No, good on you. You enjoy yourself. Don't feel bad.
That is
like a wicked figure.
That is the last and only thing, though.
Buy second hand.
Exactly. See these things second hand. Exactly.
I got a Hot Toys Princess Leia. I couldn't help it. I was watching Burnett and Ayers. I couldn't help myself. It was Princess Leia. I had to do it. Best bin outfit. Come on. Surely they're not getting the money from there. It's Hot Toys.
I was like teetering on the brink of buying a Luke Skywalker figure though. If they released one from The Mandalorian of his hallway scene in The Mandalorian, I was kind of like, I would have loved to have got that. Would have been great. And then ever since The Mandalorian, it's all gone shit. And I thought, forget that. I'm not touching it. You're not getting a penny, mate. Yeah,
very quickly. And a lot of people pointed out that it wouldn't last, and they were absolutely correct.
Well,
I'll tell you what.
There's going to be lots of Doomcock videos.
Oh yeah, that's giving him a lot of fuel now.
Gloom Cockney.
Money.
He does one video. I come back with 2. I'll tell you what, speaking of toys though, and blasters, Mega Geek, I checked it out. Han Solo blaster. $2,000 for the Han Solo blaster. So get the super chats coming in. First of all, Brand needs a computer, and then second of all,
I was going to say anybody in the chat. Sorry, Cockney. If you like the content, yes, if you like the content on these streams, please feel free to click the tip jar on the description. Yes, my computer.
All proceeds go to me.
All proceeds go to the problem being needs a render farm.
Yes, badly.
So we need about 18,000 million trillion pounds, please, people in the chat. So if please give generously.
We don't want the money, we need the money. That's the difference.
Yeah. We're going to finish on 1:30, so
of course we are. That's what you always say.
Yeah, we'll just do
we are.
12 minutes of anything you want to talk about. So we've kind of
Han Solo's $2,000 blaster.
Solo lost money. Yeah,
Yep.
I just think it's such just to round up. I just think it's such a shame with Gina Carano because she maybe should have learned her lesson from when she
But
first.
she did nothing wrong. I mean, she's not.
I know
even-
that. I know. But
That's
with
what
regard
gets
to what
me.
Ian, yeah, I know. That's
And that
the
wasn't
coolest
even
thing of all.
I don't even think that was
Yeah,
remotely close to controversial.
Yeah.
I mean, you could argue the pronoun thing would have been the thing that would have tipped everything over the edge because you know how powerful the trans lobby is. But surprisingly, for once, they gave a shit about Jews. You know, but it's never been that way before.
Here we go. I've gone on to the.
Here we go.
Goonies. Gina
Oh, no.
Carano fired from the Mandalorian after quote unquote abhorrent social media post.
Yeah.
That's how the Goonies spinning it. Lucasfilm has no plans to work with the actor again on the Disney
Yeah,
Plus Star Wars
yeah,
series after
shit.
she appeared to compare the treatment of Republicans in the US to that of Jews in Nazi Germany. That is so.
Okay.
That's the spin on it, basically.
No, that was totally a misread. It wasn't about comparing them to the treatment of Jews by the Nazis. It was the employment of the same tactics that the Nazis used.
Yeah.
That's a very big difference, massive difference. It's not saying they're like the Nazis and we're like the Jews. No, it's like saying the employment of the tactics of turning people against a specific group is happening now. Like it did
But, I mean,
then.
It is.
Can they hear themselves? Check this out. I mean, because we're not going to get a copyright strike from reading from the Goonie, are we? But listen, skipping down a couple of paragraphs. Carano had previously been at the centre of social media controversy. This is like the current buzz.
Contrived controversy.
When she was accused of mocking people who state their preferred pronouns online by placing the words beep, bop, boop on her Twitter profile.
Jesus.
Oh, hang her now! She said beep, bop, boop! String her up! And what the fuck? What the actual fuck? This is this a Sunday Sport? No, this is the fucking Guardian. She said beep, bop, boop!
Yeah.
String her up a minute! Ah!
It's just taking. It's like what? It's just,
Unacceptable!
that's just funny in
Conditions!
itself. What the fuck?
I mean, it's beyond parody. Beyond parody.
Yeah.
It is beyond reality,
Cockney.
it's beyond parody. Yes.
Cockney, do you want your day making big time?
Already? I'm on a roll already.
You know our good.
Is Jessica coming over?
A bread roll.
No, it's not that good. It's good
I'm gonna
though.
get some.
You know our friend Real Honis in the chat.
Oh, yeah. Who's going to read this out?
You know how we said we'd never mention Blade Runner for at least another year.
Yeah, well, I just ordered two books. Did I mention that?
Well, have a look at the on the screen.
How you guys think of Doomcock discussion of Blade Runner?
Next,
inferior to ours?
here we go. Here we go. This is the money shot. Are you ready?
Go on. Ah, you think correct. He knows it. I know it. We know it. Everyone.
We love you, Real.
It's just a fact. I've got timestamps on everything. We did it first. Oh, it's just a coincidence. Yeah, after 40 years, we both did a video within 7 days of each other. That's just a coincidence.
The day after. Yeah, and then he goes, I love DC, but wrong time.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Well, hence the piss take videos, and there's more coming.
Game over.
Game over, man. Game over.
So people beat bop boop.
I can't believe she said that. No,
Unfucking believable, isn't it? Unbelievable.
Yeah, I know that's how infantile this has become now. It's
Meanwhile-
unbelievable.
Meanwhile, Mark Wahlberg goes out on, I know I've said it before, but I'm going to keep saying it. Mark Wahlberg goes out on a premeditated, racially motivated physical assault. Admittedly, got arrested, did his time, but meanwhile, he's doing a film with Spider-Man in a few months. Fuck that shit. I mean, what the hell? Physical assault.
Amber Heard
As opposed
shits
to
in Johnny Depp's bed, and he's the one who gets sacked. And then you got Ezra Pound, whatever his name is, Ezra Miller. Not Ezra Pound, Ezra Miller. You know, tackling a pregnant woman down to the ground. Not a problem, mate. All good.
But
You're alphabet, so you're sorted.
Yeah. Mr. Wahlberg, did you, during your racist attack on that Korean shopkeeper, did you say beep, bop, boop? No, I didn't. Right, that's it. 6 months, he's
You're all
out.
right then. You're all right.
Fuck. So it's it's sheer fucking double standards. So basically, assaulting people is fine, but saying beat bot poop isn't.
Could I just ask Real Jones in the chat?
Yeah.
He said
Tell
that
us
Blade
more.
Runner discussion was so good. Are you referring to ours or our illustrious
think?
leaders?
You mean Doomcock? You mean Doomcock, do you?
Yeah.
Don't know. We'll find out. Won't we?
It's not even a question, is it? In fact, I've not heard their one. Was it?
Yeah, Real, which Blade Runner discussion did you prefer, this one or Doomcock's? Be interesting. Anyway,
Doomcocks.
Yours. There you go. And final question is:
you can come on anytime, mate.
Is Deckard a replicant or a human?
Deckard. Deckard. Desmond Deckard.
Deckard. Sorry, Deckard. So I haven't slept.
The replicant.
Double Decker.
Problem. Have we ever spoke to you about Blade Runner? We haven't, have we?
Oh, another Blade Runner special coming up.
What we're gonna do? We've got a 5 minute. This is definitely the last time. 5 minute Blade Runner special. What are your feelings?
He was human, of course.
Of course he was. Of course he was. He was human.
Man,
is that going on the strength of the first version of the film with the narration?
Well, the story that even in the second version, it doesn't make any sense that he was a replicant.
Every argument that Doomcock put forward, I came back with my own explanation. It's like, well, I mean, he had the glowing eyes when he was looking at. Yeah, that could be symbolic of his, falling in love with her and maybe feeling that way for the fact that he had memories implanted. He had this unicorn. Well, that could have just been a dream, like
it wasn't dreamt of a unicorn. There,
he could have been mind controlled to believe he was a replicant. I choose him. He wasn't physically strong. How comes he's still alive in 2049?
Is that yes?
I mean, there's so many things. It's like, look, the whole point is it doesn't matter because it should be open ended. It should make you think on that level. That's fine. It doesn't need to be answered. But personally, I think he was human. That's it.
Yeah, no, but it's the penultimate point you made that's the point because I had started with he's a replicant. Fuck off. There's no discussion. But I realized that is the worst thing you can do is just go. There's no discussion. I'm right. You're wrong. That is not the. That is not an enjoyable.
Well, that's what's happening now, isn't it?
He's a clone. He's a clone. I like it.
But that's what's happening now in social media, isn't it? They're saying you're right. I'm right. You're wrong. I don't want to listen to anything you say. La 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 la. That's
I am not listening.
Mr. Brown, I see an opportunity for T-shirt designs here. Deckard was a replicant or Deckard was human T-shirts, and let people decide with their sales figures.
One T-shirt, and you could just flip it.
Oh yeah, inside out. Yeah.
Inside out. Back
reversible T-shirt.
Brilliant. Yeah. No, back and front. Deckard was a replicant. On the other side, no, he wasn't.
Yeah.
Let's do it. No, fuck it. Let's do it. You do it. I'll pay you no money.
Pay you no money later. Yeah.
Yeah.
While he's tucking into his bullet bourbon.
Exactly.
It really doesn't matter. Let's face it. It really doesn't matter. Who cares? It's a good film. That's it.
This is what nerdom and geekdom and fandom needs to be all about. Having fun about discussing things about the actual thing itself rather than the politics surrounding the damn thing.
Having fun, that is a valid point that Mega Geek made the last time we discussed it, which was probably yesterday. It's just as long as you're having fun having the discussion. If that was with
the mystery of storytelling.
But a certain broadcaster actually started off with, the question annoyed me. Well, if it's annoying you, then go see a therapist.
I'm right.
Yeah, I'm right, and I'm angry. No, it's let's discuss it. It's nuanced, and I'm having fun. So two mistakes right after he made two mistakes. I'm right and I'm angry. Well, you're going to have a piss take video in the morning, then, aren't you, mate? Basically asking for it, isn't it?
Suffer the consequences.
I have an insider at Disney called ASO.
Well, it's important to just keep talking. That's the thing.
Yes, more talking, not less.
Yeah, communication, not hiding behind a screen, basically.
That's right. That's right.
Exactly. Or a mask.
And if you've got a problem, why not talk to you about it on a stream and then let people decide again? Don't decide for them. Here's the ultimate proof there. I've decided it for you because I've got all the answers. That's
Because I'm the
Well,
super
not the
fucking
point.
genius, isn't it?
Well,
Exactly.
going back
I'm the
to what you
genius.
we know you are. Going back to what Ian said
No, I
about
wasn't talking about myself. I'm an idiot. I'm idiot and
Oh.
proud over here,
A
mate.
cosmic fool.
So, look, the most
drunk
important thing is to be
drunk C3PO is going to be busy for the next few months. So
Oh yeah, well, they got nothing to do now. Might as well get
crying
laid.
into his pint.
The most important thing is to be original. Isn't that right, Charlie Cthulhu? Push my button. Find my
Fuck
button.
you! Screw you!
It's it's okay if people want to dine on this problem and keep dining on it. That's fine,
Yeah.
But they have to recognize the fact that basically they're still bringing attention to it, and really it just needs to just leave it and let it lie. It will lie in the next
wouldn't let it
week.
lie.
You wouldn't let it lie. No, after my forthcoming book, that will be the final word.
To
'cause all
finish
the
off
arguments
on-
are going in.
Yeah. But
Speaking of finishing off, I hope Jessica phones on 1:30. That would make my
I
day.
don't think Gina Carano would let it lie, and I think
She wouldn't let it lie.
she paid the ultimate price for a bunch of.
But
knobheads.
there's a rumor that the report is not from Disney. So if that's the case, she might not have been fired at all. It might be all.
Well, at least they got a dress rehearsal to show what will happen if they
The
did.
Guardian said it, so it must be true. The new Sunday Sport.
Beat bop boop.
Beat Bop Boop, as confirmed by the
Jesus.
Guarani ad. By
Fucking
Toby
hell.
Moses at the
How did
Guarani ad.
How did it get to beat bop boop?
I
I
can't believe
think,
she said that shit.
I think people like Bob Chapek, whatever his name is, and Bob, the other
Bob
Bob,
Iger.
they're
Igor.
no disrespect to both of you, but I think you're both cowards. I think if you do not believe in what's going on, you should literally stand up on a podium, have the press around you, and speak your mind, because you are in a position of power, right? And
they've got the power. Yes,
you will get attacked.
Maybe it's them who could step up to the plate and end all this shit.
But that's what I'm saying. I think
of an actor.
They have the power to do that. If they disagree with what's going on, they should step up, because they're the most powerful company in the world, and they should step up to the plate and speak their mind and
With
fight
KK stood behind them.
Yeah, well, and fight for what they believe. But if they're not doing that, then they are cowards. Let's face it. So,
On that bombshell, I think we will finish. Guys, thank you. Very good discussion today. We went deep at play. At some points.
Brilliant! Can I just say,
go
on. That's great. Demon Scythe Synth here.
It's Disney Plus cancellation.
Yeah, I was just reading his tweet. So I took his Twitter handle. But you just tagged me in this brilliant post, and it's someone says, "Stay consistent, Disney," and there's a picture of Pedro Pascal's post that he made previously with hashtag This Is America, and it's got a picture of Jews in the concentration camp saying Germany 1944. And a picture below showing kids in the ice camps saying America 2018. Fine when he does it.
Fucking double standards.
I was going to say, Cockney, we realised quite early on 2021 is the year of double standards, isn't it?
Yep.
Hypocrisy over steroidal.
I think
push my button.
With regards what's going on, I think this is early days in this yet, so we'll see what
just
happens.
begun.
Yes, the first casualty of war. So, cheers, guys. Appreciate you popping in. Everybody in the chat, as I've said many times, we are nothing without you guys. So, if you're feeling generous and you've enjoyed the content, please look for the tip jar post.
$1,000 super chats accepted.
Yes, we're cheaper than the bigger channels, and we think the quality's there as well. So, cheers, you guys. We'll see you soon. We'll probably pop up tonight. We'll see how it goes. All I can say, I'll play the outro. Cheers, guys. Take care. See you soon. Bye.
Bye.